Hello and welcome to BMA 258 Services Marketing. In this section we'll be dealing with Chapter 8, Integrated Services Marketing Communications. So the objectives for this week are first of all to articulate the importance of integrated marketing communications, second to describe the challenges of service communications, third to describe the 5 W's of marketing communications planning, number 4 explain the role of the marketing communications mix. So let's have a look at the marketing communications first of all. So this is a concept that's developed through marketing research, academic research, that brings the idea that marketing communications tie together and reinforce all the communications that we do from an organisation to deliver a clear, strong brand identity. Now, the firm's various media, their marketing communication channels, deliver the same message and have the same look and feel, and the communications from the different media and communications approaches all become part of the single overall message and service promise about the service firm and its products. So even though we use different mediums such as like radio, TV, social media, newspapers and stuff like that, they're all saying the same thing. Now, to achieve this, external communication channels must be coordinated, as with physical goods, but both external communications and interactive communication channels must be integrated to create consistent service promises. And the idea of that is different, you might think that makes sense, but different communications channels all have their different advantages and disadvantages, right? So think about how different a newspaper would be compared to social media. And the temptation for us as marketers to go, well, newspapers are really good at communicating in this way, like like more of a editorial style where you write something, so people that enjoy reading stuff, they'll like pick up the newspaper and just have a nice read of what you have to say. Whereas social media is very much about pictures and quick and short and stuff like that. So you go, well, why don't we tailor our messages a little bit to the mediums? It kind of makes sense, but it damages our positioning overall, because if we have saying different things for different communications, the people that will be reading both or exposed to both or hear about both, like the different approaches, they're going to get confused about what your organisation's about and what the position is in the market. So although it's tempting, it's much better to stick to integrated marketing communications and use all of them then to communicate that clear, consistent, compelling message. So the role of integrated marketing communications is positioning, to differentiate the service offering, to promote staff within that organisation, add value through communications content, like some services just have value through us communicating with them, customer involvement, facilitates customer involvement in the service production, and then managing demand. So all of these are the roles of marketing communications within service organisations. So let's have a look at this in a bit more detail. So for positioning and differentiating the service, companies use marketing communications to persuade target customers that their service offers the best solution to meet those needs, those states of felt deprivation, relative to the offerings of competing firms. They also can promote the contribution of service personnel and backstage operations, which I think is quite interesting. It's a good idea. So advertising, brochures and websites show customers the work that goes on backstage to ensure good service delivery. Some customers or stakeholders are just generally interested in what we do and how we do it, right? So this is a good way to do that. Not only does it promote our business, but it also teaches our customer, like customer learning as well. And then they understand more about our business and become more, it's easier for them to work with, engage with, and then they feel more committed to it too. So it highlights the expertise and commitment of employees, whom customers normally never encounter, but may enhance trust in organisations' competence and commitment to the service quality. All right. The next one is to stimulate or dampen demand to match capacity. Excuse me. So demand management strategies include shifting usage during peak demand periods and stimulating it during off-peak periods. So this one here is sale 30% off. So that's sort of stimulating demand. Another one is changing demand. So you go have a happy hour sign. So $1 shots is pretty cheap, but you could go $5 pints and $4 cocktails at happy hour, which is really cheap. And the idea of that is to stimulate demand at that time. So obviously the issue with this poster is it doesn't have the bar name on there, but also doesn't have the when actual happy hour is. So that's a really good approach to take too, because you want to sort of, usually pubs do this because they want to stimulate demand at that house, and once people get there, it creates that environment, and then people either want to stay or creates a service environment which attracts other customers as well. Alright, so that's it for this section. In section 2 we'll be dealing with the challenges of service communications.